Happy New Year, everyone, and welcome to 2025. It feels like just yesterday we were getting ready for 2024.
I know, right? Time really flies.
It really does. And for some reason, I always start thinking about new beginnings around this time, like a reset button for the year ahead.
Absolutely. It's a perfect moment to reflect on the past year and, maybe set some intentions for the future.
It's funny you mention intentions because it makes me think about how in so many cultures throughout history, like people have believed that words have a certain power, a
Right.
power beyond just their literal meaning, you know?
You're so right. I mean, think about it. People talk about speaking things into existence or like the whole idea behind affirmations. There's even a name for that kind of philosophy, the law of attraction.
The law of attraction. Yeah, exactly. It suggests that what we think and how we feel, especially when we put those thoughts and feelings into words, well, it can really shape the reality we experience,
That's the idea. And it gets you thinking, about what kind of impact the words we use every day actually have on our lives.
doesn't it? What's fascinating is that this isn't just some new age thing either.
Hmm.
If you think about ancient mantras or prayers or incantations, they all seem to be tapping into this concept, this idea that words carry this deeper, almost like energetic vibration.
It's like they resonate on a different level, beyond just their surface meaning.
Exactly. Have you ever experienced that where a particular word or phrase just hits you differently? Tell us about it. Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. And hey, while you're down there, hit that subscribe button for more deep dives like this.
I'm with you on that. Words definitely hold power, and it makes you wonder, right, about certain languages and how they might have an even stronger connection to this vibrational energy, like Aramaic, for example.
Aramaic. Now, that's a language you don't hear every day.
Not really, no. But it's an ancient Semitic language. It's got these really deep spiritual roots. It was spoken all over the Middle East for centuries. Actually, it's the language that many scholars believe Jesus spoke.
Wow, really? I had no idea. So it makes sense that a language with such a rich history would also have a unique kind of power.
Right. And there's a belief that certain Aramaic words can almost act as a sort of energetic key. Like they can align us with specific frequencies or vibrations. And today, we're going to explore one of those words, a word that is believed to have the potential to unlock prosperity and abundance.
Okay, now you've got my attention. What is this word?
The word is shalom.
Shalom. I thought that just meant peace.
You're right, shalom is often translated as peace, but in Aramaic, it goes so much deeper. It encompasses a state of wholeness, of harmony, a sense of being completely in alignment with the natural flow of life.
So it's not just the absence of conflict, but rather a state of total well-being, abundance in all areas of life.
Exactly. And the idea is that by consciously using the word shalom, like really tapping into it, we can attract those same qualities into our own lives.
Interesting. So because we often associate peace with prosperity, and when we're at peace, we're less likely to make decisions from a place of, fear or scarcity,
Hmm.
that opens us up to more opportunities for growth and abundance.
That's the connection. Think about the times when you felt the most prosperous, not just financially, but emotionally too. Were those also times when you felt a sense of peace and inner harmony? Let us know what you think. Leave a comment below. We always love to hear your personal experiences. Now, it's important to remember that this isn't about just saying shalom and expecting like instant wealth.
Right. It's not like a magic spell or anything.
Definitely not. It's more about like shifting our internal world, our mindset and our energy, making ourselves more open to receiving.
Creating those internal conditions that allow abundance to flow into our lives.
Exactly. Shalom is like a tool in that process, but it's still up to us to actually cultivate the mindset and, take the actions that support those desires. It's kind of like planting a seed. You need to nurture it if you want it to grow.
I like that analogy. So how do we, so to speak, nurture this seed of shalom? How do we cultivate that abundance mindset?
Well, there are a few practices that can help. One of the most basic is conscious repetition.
So just saying the word shalom throughout the day.
Yeah. It might sound simple, but it can really help shift your energetic vibration.
Okay, I can see that. So, like, what are some practical ways to incorporate that into our daily lives?
Well, you could try repeating shalom silently to yourself, like when you first wake up, during your commute, even while you're doing chores.
I get it. It's like a gentle reminder throughout the day to reconnect with that feeling of peace and wholeness.
Precisely. You could also try incorporating it into your meditation practice. Sit or lie down comfortably, close your eyes, and as you breathe deeply, repeat shalom silently to yourself.
I bet that would feel very calming and grounding.
It can be very powerful. Another powerful practice is visualization. So as you repeat shalom, visualize yourself living the life you desire. Imagine yourself surrounded by abundance, joy, fulfillment in all areas of your life.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, I'm picturing myself feeling financially secure, traveling to all these amazing places, and having these really deep connections with the people I love.
That's it. And the more emotion, the more feeling you can bring into that visualization, the more powerful it becomes. It's about really embodying that state of shalom.
This makes me think about how much our thoughts and beliefs actually influence our reality. If we're constantly focused on what we lack, on scarcity, then of course we're going to have trouble attracting abundance. But if we can shift to that mindset of peace, wholeness, possibility, then we open ourselves up to so much more.
Such a powerful realization, and it's something we can all cultivate with practice. Shalom is a beautiful reminder of that inherent power within us.
It really is. And, I'd love to hear from our listeners on this. What are some ways that you've shifted your mindset to attract more abundance? Maybe you have some tips or tricks that have worked for you. Share them in the comments below. We're always open to learning new things.
Absolutely. And remember, transforming your mindset, it doesn't happen overnight, right? It's a journey. Be patient with yourself along the way. Just like any new skill, it takes time and practice to master the art of cultivating shalom in your life.
So true. Speaking of practice, are there any other techniques we can use to kind of amplify the power of shalom?
Absolutely. In addition to repetition and visualization, there are a few other practices that can be especially helpful. One that I find really powerful is incorporating shalom into a gratitude practice.
Gratitude. How does that tie into abundance and shalom?
Well, think of gratitude as an amplifier. Like when we express gratitude for the good things in our lives, even the small things, it shifts our focus from what we lack to what we already have.
Mhm.
And that creates a more receptive energy. It makes it easier to attract more of what we desire.
So if I'm feeling grateful for my morning coffee, my warm bed, even just waking up healthy, that's helping me cultivate a more abundant mindset.
Exactly. And when you combine gratitude with the vibrational energy of shalom, it's like you're adding fuel to the fire.
Mhm.
You're not only acknowledging the abundance that already exists, but also aligning yourself with that frequency of wholeness, of completeness.
I see. I see. It's like we're sending a clear message to the universe that we're open to receiving more blessings.
That's the idea. And here's another tip. Try writing shalom down on a piece of paper and put it somewhere you'll see it often, maybe on your desk, your fridge, even under your pillow.
Like a visual reminder throughout the day to come back to that intention of peace and abundance.
Exactly. It's simple, but it can be surprisingly effective in keeping shalom at the forefront of your mind. It reinforces your commitment to cultivating those qualities in your life. What about you? What are some of the things that come to mind when you think of shalom? How would you incorporate that word into your own life? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comments below. And hey, while you're at it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives like this.
We love hearing from you. So we've been talking a lot about the energetic, even spiritual aspects of shalom. But I'm curious, is there any scientific basis for this idea that words can have a tangible impact on reality?
That's a really great question, and honestly, it's one that scientists are only beginning to explore more deeply. Have you ever heard of cymatics?
Cymatics. It rings a bell, but refresh my memory.
It's the study of visible sound vibrations. So basically, you can see how sound creates these geometric patterns in matter. There are all these amazing videos online that show how different frequencies create incredibly complex and beautiful designs in things like sand or water.
Oh, right. I've seen those.
Yeah.
It's kind of mesmerizing to watch those intricate patterns just emerge from sound waves.
I know, right? And those patterns, they're not random. They demonstrate how sound actually has a structuring effect on matter. So if sound can shape physical matter, it's not that much of a stretch to think that it could also impact our energy fields and, by extension, our lives.
That's a fascinating connection. It makes you wonder about the unseen effects that words and sounds might be having on our bodies and our environments all the time.
Totally. And when you think about it, our bodies are constantly vibrating, right? Our cells, our organs, even our thoughts and emotions, they all have a vibrational frequency.
So basically, we're like walking, talking, bundles of energy, emitting vibrations all the time.
Exactly. And the theory is that the sounds we make, especially when we speak with intention and focus, can influence our overall vibrational state. It's kind of like using a tuning fork to recalibrate our energy.
So in a way, we're using the sound of shalom to harmonize our internal vibrations with the frequency of, like, abundance and well-being.
You got it. There's another area of research, too, called psychoacoustics. It explores the psychological effects of sound.
Psychoacoustics, I've never heard of that. What's that all about?
So researchers in this field are finding that certain sounds can induce specific emotional states. They can affect our cognitive function, even influence our physical health. Like some studies have shown that listening to calming music can actually lower blood pressure and reduce stress hormones.
That's amazing. I definitely know music can affect my mood, but I didn't realize there was actual science behind it.
Yeah. And it's not just music either. Sounds of nature, like ocean waves or birdsong, can have really profound effects on our well-being too.
It's true. It makes you realize we're constantly surrounded by this symphony of sounds, and they're all interacting with our bodies and minds, whether we're conscious of it or not.
Exactly. And that brings us back to shalom. When it's spoken in Aramaic, it's believed to carry a particular resonance, a deeper connection to these like ancient vibrations that have been used for healing and spiritual practices for centuries.
So by consciously incorporating shalom into our lives, we're tapping into this powerful tool that has been used for like centuries to promote well-being and abundance.
That's the idea. And it's a tool that's becoming increasingly relevant, as we're all looking for ways to navigate the complexities and challenges of modern life.
Speaking of challenges, it's important to remember that life isn't always easy, right? We all face obstacles, setbacks. How does shalom help us navigate those difficult times?
Great question. Remember, shalom isn't about pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about facing them from a place of inner peace and strength.
So it's not about avoiding difficulties, but approaching them with a more grounded, resilient energy.
Exactly. When we're in alignment with that frequency of shalom, we're less likely to get knocked off balance by those inevitable ups and downs of life.
It's like we have a stronger internal foundation to support us when things get tough.
Exactly. And when those challenges do come up, instead of panicking or getting overwhelmed, we can take a deep breath, repeat shalom, and remember that we're connected to a source of strength and wisdom.
It's about finding that inner peace, even in the middle of chaos.
Exactly. And that inner peace allows us to respond to challenges with more clarity, more creativity, and more resilience.
You know, it's fascinating. Even though we're talking about this ancient Aramaic word, the concept of shalom just feels so relevant to our modern lives. I mean, we're all searching for more peace, more balance, more fulfillment, and shalom seems to offer this timeless pathway to those qualities.
I totally agree. And what's even more beautiful is that it's a pathway that's accessible to everyone. You don't need any special skills or knowledge. It's just about making that conscious choice to align yourself with that frequency of wholeness and well-being.
It sounds like there are so many different ways to incorporate shalom into our lives, from simply repeating it, visualization, gratitude practices, even using it as a tool for navigating challenges.
Absolutely. It's all about finding what works for you and making it your own.
This conversation is making me think about all the different ways we experience abundance in our lives.
Hmm.
It's not just about financial wealth, is it? It's about feeling abundant in love, in joy, creativity, health, all the things that truly make life rich and meaningful.
You're so right. Abundance comes in so many forms, and so often it's those non-material aspects of abundance that bring us the deepest sense of fulfillment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tell us, what are some of the non-material things that make you feel abundant? We want to know. Share your thoughts in the comments below.
We'd love to hear what brings you a sense of fullness and joy.
Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to circle back to the idea of shalom as a tool for manifestation. We've talked about intention, visualization, gratitude, but are there any other key ingredients for successful manifestation?
Yes. A really crucial one is belief.
Belief. Tell me more about that.
It's about truly believing that what you desire is possible for you. It's about trusting that the universe can and will support you in achieving your goals.
So it's not enough to just say the words or visualize the outcome. We have to actually believe in our hearts that it's achievable.
Exactly. Doubt and disbelief create these energetic blocks that can hinder the manifestation process.
That makes sense. If we're constantly second-guessing ourselves or focusing on why something won't work, we're sending those mixed signals to the universe.
Precisely. But when we cultivate a strong belief in our ability to create the life we desire, we align our energy with that outcome. It becomes so much more likely to manifest.
So belief is like the fertile ground that allows the seed of our intention to take root and grow.
What a beautiful analogy. And just like a seed needs sunlight and water to thrive, our belief needs to be nurtured and strengthened over time.
So how do we cultivate a stronger belief in ourselves and our ability to manifest our desires?
That's a fantastic question, and it's one that we'll explore in more depth in the next part of our deep dive. So we were talking about belief, right? That crucial ingredient for manifestation. It's about really believing in yourself and your ability to achieve your goals. That's what aligns your energy with the outcomes you want in life.
Yeah, it's like having that unshakable faith, knowing that things will work out even if you can't see exactly how just yet. But how do we strengthen that belief? Especially when, life throws curveballs and we've maybe faced some setbacks or disappointments in the past.
That's where the real power of shalom comes in. When you really tap into what shalom means, that deep sense of wholeness, that inner peace, it makes it so much easier to trust the process, to believe in yourself and your potential.
So embracing shalom goes beyond just manifesting like material wealth or specific outcomes.
Right.
It's also about cultivating a deeper sense of trust, faith in ourselves and the journey itself, right?
Exactly. It's about recognizing that wholeness, that completeness that's already within us, even when life gets messy. And that knowing, that inner knowing, makes us so much more resilient. It helps us face challenges with grace, with that understanding that we already have the strength and wisdom within us to handle whatever comes our way.
Wow, that's a really powerful way to look at it. It's not about chasing something we lack. It's about recognizing the abundance that's already there inside of us.
You got it. And when we tap into that inner abundance, it naturally starts to overflow into our external reality. It attracts more of the same.
It's like when you're feeling really confident, really self-assured, you tend to draw positive experiences and opportunities to you. But when you're full of self-doubt and feeling insecure, it's almost like you're pushing those opportunities away without even realizing it.
It's true. Our internal state creates this ripple effect. It affects the energy we project out into the world and, in turn, shapes the experiences we attract.
So cultivating shalom isn't just about repeating a word. It's about embodying a state of being, a whole way of life that aligns us with that frequency of abundance and well-being.
You said it perfectly. And that brings us to another powerful technique for strengthening belief, and that's affirmations.
Affirmations, yeah, I've heard of those. Those are the positive statements we repeat to ourselves, right?
That's them. Affirmations are like a secret weapon for reprogramming our subconscious minds. They help us replace those old limiting beliefs with ones that are more empowering.
So instead of, let's say, thinking I'll never be able to afford my dream house, I could try affirming I am worthy of abundance and I'm attracting my dream home into my reality. Something like that.
Exactly. When we consistently repeat these positive statements, these affirmations that are in alignment with our desires, we start to shift those deep-seated beliefs. We create a whole new blueprint for success from the inside out.
And when we combine those affirmations with the power of shalom, it's like turbocharging them, right? Infusing them with the energy of wholeness and possibility.
Love that analogy. It's like adding rocket fuel to your manifestation engine.
It makes me think about all the negative self-talk we do without even realizing it. It's like we have this inner critic that's constantly putting us down, reinforcing those limiting beliefs.
It's so common. And it's honestly one of the biggest blocks to manifestation. We have to pay attention to the stories we're telling ourselves and make a conscious effort to replace those negative narratives with ones that uplift and empower us.
It's true. It's like we're the authors of our own stories, and we have the power to change the script whenever we want.
So powerful. And shalom can be a guiding light in that process. It reminds us of our inherent worthiness, of our potential. What about you? What are some of those limiting beliefs you've encountered in your own life, and how have you worked to overcome them? Share your story in the comments below. You never know, your insights might just inspire someone else who's struggling with similar challenges. Oh, and while you're there, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives like this one.
We love hearing from you guys. So this whole conversation, it's making me think about this concept of money as energy. Have you ever heard of that?
All the time. It's a really interesting perspective and one that ties in so beautifully with shalom.
I'd love to hear more. Tell me about it.
Well, a lot of spiritual traditions view money not as a physical object, but as a form of energy. Like it's a representation of the universal flow of abundance.
Okay, so instead of seeing money as something scarce and limited, we can start to view it as this constantly circulating energy that's always available to us.
Exactly. And when we're in alignment with shalom, with that feeling of wholeness and inner peace, we become so much more receptive to the flow of that energy.
It's like we're clearing those energetic blocks that prevent us from receiving abundance.
You got it. It's about shifting our mindset, moving away from scarcity and fear towards abundance, towards trust, towards possibility.
It's amazing how much our beliefs and attitudes about money can influence our financial reality. If we're constantly worried about money, always feeling like there's not enough, we're actually creating more of that experience.
It becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy. But when we shift to a mindset of abundance, of gratitude, we open ourselves up to receive more financial blessings.
And when we combine that shift with the power of shalom, it amplifies our ability to attract financial prosperity.
Absolutely. Shalom reminds us that we are inherently worthy of abundance, that we're connected to this infinite source of supply.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation. It really highlights how shalom is so much more than just a word for peace. It's like this powerful tool for transforming our lives from the inside out.
Couldn't agree more. It's a pathway to wholeness, abundance, fulfillment in all areas of life.
And it's such a great reminder that true abundance starts within. It's about cultivating that peace, that joy, that gratitude within ourselves, which then allows us to attract more of those qualities into our external world.
Beautifully said. And remember, the journey of shalom, it's an ongoing one. It's about choosing each and every day to align ourselves with that frequency of wholeness and well-being.
It's about trusting that the universe has our backs, that it will support us every step of the way.
Exactly. So as we move forward, let's carry that vibration of shalom with us. Let's repeat it, let's embody it, and let it guide us toward a life filled with abundance, purpose, and joy.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the power of shalom. We hope it's inspired you to tap into your own inner abundance and create a life that truly reflects your amazing potential.
And remember, the journey doesn't end here. Keep exploring, keep experimenting, keep sharing your experiences. We're all in this together. Shalom.
Shalom.